This is Daedalus, and you're watching How I Made.
I'm Valerie from Mixmag. We just got to witness a very awesome performance from Alfred over here, who you probably know as Daedalus, on the rolly blocks and this very cool setup. So I think that, why don't we just start there? I'll have you talk us through all the equipment you're using and how they all play into your performance.
So I'm using a Eurorack that I've been developing for a little while in conjunction with these DFAM, which are percussive synthesizers from Moog. And then, of course, the Seaboard block and the light pad block.
So tell me about how, maybe each piece of equipment influences your performance and the mentality you go into something like this with.
Sure. I'm focusing on interactions. So I'm focusing on the way that the blocks allow for control over the Eurorack, which in turn is like feeding into the Moog and pulling from it like rhythmic elements and kind of noise manipulation that then goes back into the Eurorack and then out into the mixer. Mm-hmm. So the idea is to find a performative idea that is really interactive and really vital, and the vitality of what is possible. Eurorack is sometimes kind of like, doesn't want to be so touched. It like can be very finicky. Like a little change of one knob can like completely upend the entire like delicate balance. And with the DFAMs as well, like they're tiny knobs. And so being able to take the control voltage from all of this and then run that by the blocks makes every part easier. I was first exposed to Rolly because they made that giant Seaboard, which people may have seen in videos. It's like this like very dimensional piano, like exceeding our traditional idea of what a keyboard instrument can be, because it uses this thing like 5D control, like 5-dimension touch. So basically you're able to, with not only a press of a button or a push of the key, but like really like moving your fingers around the surface, you're able to make really broad changes in expression. So. Right. It's enormous, the possibilities, and then they shrank it down to this like Seaboard block. So that's a version of the giant keyboard. And then they kept on, I don't know exactly the order of things, but then they kept on going in iterations and made the light pad block. And so
smaller.
Yeah, and there's even smaller. They're like they're succeeding in the kind of the portability department. Like it's insane. And you also can run these things by Bluetooth, which is interesting as well. I'm not using it like that today, but the possibility there means that you can just basically take it out of your bag and immediately have access to a whole range of sounds that would take, if you were to do this with like maybe other more traditional machinery, it would take like such a plethora of equipment, it makes my head spin slightly. Yeah. And so to have it in one package is really cool.
There is something definitely to be said about the experience that comes with electronic music, dance music. Let's talk a little bit about your artist name, Daedalus. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it has a lot of reference to a great inventor. Yeah. So I'd love for you to talk a little bit about that.
I sourced my name from ancient Greek mythology. Daedalus was the greatest inventor of the ancient age and father of Icarus, famous for like flying across the sea with wings of wax, and Icarus failing, Daedalus making it, tragic. So like a lot there. I don't use the name because I believe that's me. I mean, it's an aspirational title. I like this idea of mythology, like pouring, into grander ideas, especially for something like performance. If I'm going to be up on stage, I want to have something like a huge idea that I can try to like live up to rather than like a small slice of identity to try.
Right, yeah.
So Daedalus is that thing for me. And I adore the fact that it's like a complete name. Like I really could try to live in this for the rest of my life and never get there. That's the key thing, is like I'll never quite get there. So perfect.
That's a great ethos to be an artist underneath.